I do not believe in God, and a few reasons why is because I'm a factual, analytical, and inquisitive person. So I feel like for me it's just kind of hard to put faith in something that I can't really definitively say is there. I never grew up with religion or any sort of religious beliefs in my household.
Alright, do I believe in God? No, I don't. As far as why, I did grow up in a kind of religious household, but I felt that the environment that I was in with my parents and family in general, very religious people, I think when I was younger, I just felt like it was pushed upon very strongly, and I felt like I didn't really have my own choice, my own decision to make. Even though I was already not really believing in God itself by then anyways, still just started doing my own research and, came across information that just kind of led me to just not really believe in that kind of stuff. Especially around my friends group, none of them were really religious people.
I believe in God. I think that's a question that everybody asks, at least once in their life, and thinks, is there a God? And I've come to the conclusion that there has to be a God, based on, I believe that there's a purpose in life, and without God, there would be no purpose.
I believe in God, and it's something that I have believed for most of my entire life. I grew up in a family that was Christian, and so my parents took me to church every Sunday. Some of what has helped me kind of affirm that belief is just watching the way that I think God has worked in my life since that time. There's been so many cases where different things have happened in my life that shouldn't have happened. Just amazing blessings that don't make any sense other than God, showing His love and His care for me.
As far as creation goes, I do think there was a lot of work put into creation, but I don't think it was by God. Okay, so I'm in an anthropology class right now, and I had all these beliefs beforehand, but it's mind-blowing that there's so much that I feel like a lot of people don't know about evolution and how strong that information is and how much it contradicts a lot of the common beliefs of a lot of religious people.
So when it comes to creation, I believe that God created the world. He created the heavens, He created the earth, He created all things in it. And I don't think that's crazy by any means. God is supreme power. He's sovereign over all. He's outside of space and time, so that's doesn't seem impossible to me.
I think that the existence of God is an ongoing debate today in society because in the past, I feel like the majority of people were religious and believed in some sort of higher power or being whatever you want. And I think as science developed over the years, things that are said in the Bible started to conflict with what science says. People start to believe more and more in science, and I think there's just less room for God in where we believe. Just because, at least for me, I can't say that all of creation was done by one person, one higher being, one thing. I just have to believe that science is there somehow, and if people want to believe that God started the very beginning of creation in terms of evolution, where the first tiny cell was God, then that's totally fine with me, but I feel like you just need to accept scientific research that shows.
I think that the debate on the existence of God is ongoing for a couple different reasons. The first one, I think, is really the science mindset that a lot of people have, and we want to find answers to some of life's deepest questions. And so I think naturally as humans, we are always searching for those answers and trying to find out the exact details of, is God real? And if so, why does He allow these bad things to happen to our earth? Or how did this come into existence? Another thing that comes to mind for me is even when we do find some of the truth, sometimes it's hard to accept what the truth actually is. I think in today's culture, a lot of times that concept of giving up some of our rights is contrary to what we want to do. I think especially here in America, we want to be able to say, I have the choice to do this and I have the freedom to do that, and I want to be able to make the choices that will dictate my life. So the thought of humbling ourselves and becoming a follower of Jesus isn't necessarily attractive. And that's where this kind of debate goes on of saying, well, is there actually a God? I don't think so. Or is there a God? Yes, there is.
If everyone had the same belief in society, I think things would be a lot better, for sure. Right now, I think there's a lot of conflict between religions, and I think it just causes problems among countries. Right now, there's religious wars and kind of religious extremism that clearly causes a lot of problems in our country. And I think it's just toxic to talk about religion, because every person that is part of their own religion is going to say, my religion is better than yours, and here's why. And I think that's just counterproductive to us as a society, when we could be tackling bigger issues that actually matter. For example, our environment or our politics. Anything that you would want to choose is better than just arguing about topics that, to me, don't really matter at all. So.
I think to answer the question of what would the earth be like if everyone believed in God, I think it'd be a beautiful picture, honestly. What comes to mind for me is a place where people are willing to live for something more than just themselves. The poor and the needy would be lifted up by those who have abundant resources, who are able to give. I think we would see injustices such as cheating and fraud, or even things like slavery, come to an end because we view each other as equals, no longer as someone being better than another person.